What's going on? Welcome back.
Notice anything different?
Nah, you always look this cool. You always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about me? Anything different?
No, not really.
We should get some new swag in the gym, I think. You know, I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks. Maybe we get something fresh that people can wear through the winter.
Maybe a jacket?
Maybe a jacket that you have to earn.
Okay.
You know? So like, almost like a Letterman jacket. Something
Letterman. What do those look like again?
You see them around, like they're kind of popular right now.
Okay.
It's like one of them high school jackets. I never had one. I never went to an American high school, so I never had one.
Yeah.
But something like, it's just something really cool that you can rock and let people know you're an athlete. You know what I mean? And you go to a badass place with other athletes and do cool shit. So you need a cool jacket, you know?
Yeah, we should look into that for sure.
Yeah, we'll look into it. Yeah. Maybe we'll find something. that fits our style.
If I get one, I want my name on the back.
Name on the back?
Yeah.
Maybe the year on the sleeve.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah, let's go.
It'd make the podcast look cool too, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People would know it's the OxFit podcast.
Yeah. If they couldn't tell by my corner by now.
It's looking good over there.
This is OxFit right here.
It's looking good over there.
Yeah.
What are we talking about this week, Sav?
Well, we started reading a book.
Sure did.
I started reading a book.
Yep.
Mindset, Carol Dwek.
I like the name The Psychology of Success, right? Because that's what we're about.
Mm-hmm. How we can learn to fulfill our potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. But yeah, I dove into this book and it was really cool to reflect on something that seems so obvious whenever you talk about it. You know, having a growth mindset. Like you probably already know what that means, even if you've never read the book or heard of it, you can come up with something. But actually really getting into it has been cool. The difference between having a fixed mindset and a growth mindset and how I used to be.
Well, I think everyone, when you ask them, will be like, I have a growth mindset, right? No one will be like, oh yeah, I have a fixed mindset.
No.
And then there's a few questions, right, that you're going to ask that reveal whether you have a fixed or a growth mindset. So
yeah,
quiz me, because I would say I have a growth mindset. I'm sitting here right now. If you asked me, I would be like 100% I'm about growth.
Right. And you can look at it through a few different lenses. So the first one is just about intelligence. So I'm going to ask you something. You're going to tell me if you mostly agree with it or if you disagree with it. So your intelligence is something very basic about you that you can't change very much.
I disagree.
You disagree. Okay. You want me to tell you what I said?
Yep.
Okay, so my immediate thought was, I agree. Like, you can learn to be good at things if you weren't good at things, but I still feel like I hang on to that. People are smart, they're dumb.
Okay.
And that's just kind of a way they're always going to be.
Yeah. I kind of grew up with the mindset that I could work to become whatever I wanted to be. I might have to work harder than some people, but I mean, obviously, I thought I was going to go to the NBA. I'm 5'9". You know what I mean? Like, I thought, well, I just have to work a little bit harder, but I can still make that happen.
Yeah.
If someone was like, I'm a rocket scientist, I don't think that you're more intelligent or better than me. I think I could get there if I wanted to put in the work for that.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas it sounds like you potentially think there's certain things that are out of reach for some people.
I think the way I was just specifically thinking about, I was separating intelligence from ability. Because I think there are people in really high power positions or people that have very, on paper, smart jobs that maybe like aren't that smart. They did work really hard, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the book gets into, like how are you quantifying someone's intelligence?
Right.
But I think I've met people and been really surprised to find out what they do for a living, because off the bat, I'm like, man, there's not a lot going on up there.
Yeah, that's good that you said how you quantify intelligence, because people might think book smart is intelligence, but we've all met people that are book smart that don't know how to carry a conversation with everyone and don't know how. So there's so many layers to what is an intelligent person, right? Like instantly you think of like a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And then you meet doctors that don't know how to speak or are unhealthy, or so like how much intelligence do they have in general? They know this thing really well.
Yeah.
Rocket scientists like Elon Musk, for example, like you struggle to listen to him talk sometimes, but he's one of the most intelligent people in the world, right? So yeah, it's such a good, it's all your not bias, but it's all your, what would you say is the word for like when you answer these questions, it's not really a black and white, is it? It's just how you interpret it.
Right. And that comes with every experience you've ever had with the word intelligence shapes how you
if you went to school and every day you were told you were stupid, you're not going to be a rocket scientist, chances are, right? If everybody around you said you're too dumb to learn anything, and they didn't look into how you had some intelligence for some things, like maybe you were really creative, maybe you were really artistic, maybe you were really, like amazing at sports, that's a form of intelligence, right? Like you can't just be good at sport and dumb, because like a quarterback has to be really intelligent. So yeah, it's a great first question.
Yeah.
What was your answer to that?
So it was your intelligence is something very basic about you that you can't change very much. And my immediate thought was,
yes,
I agree with that.
I agree. Yeah.
Because I still think of it as
black and white.
Black and white.
Smart,
nature
dumb.
Versus nurture.
Yeah.
Like you were born with this amount of IQ. We can work on it and you can get a really good job, but that innate, like how smart are you, doesn't change. Now, do I fully agree with that? If I really think about it, no. But my first reaction was, yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
Second question, similar. You can learn new things, but you can't really change how intelligent you are.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
No matter.
And again, it's just quantifying intelligence.
Yeah.
It's what it means to you. That's why the term mindset is key, right? It's all your interpretation of that.
Yeah. And then it's saying that. So the first question is reflective of a fixed mindset. And the second question, now the third and fourth question reflect a growth mindset. So no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it quite a bit.
Okay.
So if you agree with that, then that's indicative of having more of a growth mindset, which is what you were talking about. It's like no matter how you come out, what you've been told, your effort, all of that stuff, you can dramatically change what we perceive as your intelligence overall.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool to go through these because then you kind of flip the switch and it's...
What was the last question?
You can always substantially change how intelligent you are.
Yeah. So the best way that I think we should talk about them is you just change it to athleticism.
Yeah.
Right? Like
ability.
Yeah. And some people would look at what we do at OxFit and be like, oh, that's not for me because I'm not an athlete. I'm not athletic. But we've seen people who have done no sports in their life come in and start doing these things and turn into an athlete.
Yeah.
Right? And just showing up every day for the next 8 weeks, you will become more athletic than you were 8 weeks ago. That has nothing to do with what you were born with. There's no nature versus nurture there, right? It's in 8 weeks we can get you more athletic.
Yeah. And I would say that, yeah, it's interesting to say that because, I mean, you have way more experience coaching people than I do, but there are people that when they join the gym, athleticism comes more naturally. It doesn't mean you're, not overweight or not fit or unhealthy, but there are some people that are just a little bit more coordinated.
Yeah.
More inclined to sport.
But I just think it's because you've had more exposure, personally. I don't think it's like, look at my son. Like already he's had more exposure to athletic events and sports than some people will have for the first 8 years of their life, and he's had it in 3 years, right? Maybe he has some natural hand-eye coordination, but that has nothing to do with he's probably shot 10,000 shots at a basketball hoop, right? And people are going to see him and be like, natural athlete. He's he does it all like 4 or 5 hours a day at school, at home. You know what I mean? Like he's constantly throwing and catching balls and running around and climbing over things. And he comes to the gym with me and squats and does pull-ups and hangs on bars. So he's going to look naturally strong. But really for 3 years, he's been doing strength stuff, right?
Right.
So now at 8, 9, 10, it looks more natural. But there's going to be parents out there that have been teaching their kids to read books while I've been playing sports. And when we get to school, these kids are going to look probably a little bit more naturally intelligent than him. But they've just had more exposure to it, right? So like when you come into the gym, no matter where you're starting, we're going to expose you to stuff and we're going to watch you grow. If you come in and you're like, I'll never do these things, which the first time I met you, you said you'd never get a fucking pull-up.
Yeah.
That was your fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was you showing me that you had that fixed mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to see, I was going to say you see people that come in, and I think there's, like this book talks about, a disservice done to people that have always been told, you're an athlete, you're so athletic. They come into the gym and they can't do things. They have a fixed mindset. They can't prove their success right away. They immediately get discouraged. Whereas people that have been forced to have more of a growth mindset, they've never been told they're a great athlete. They come in here, they're presented with challenges. They have nothing to lose, so they go for it. And sometimes you see those people surpass others in the gym just because of the way they're thinking about it. They may have on paper started 2 steps behind them in some of the things they can do.
Yeah.
But because of the feedback we give them and how we praise effort and courage to try new things, I think that does pay off for them in the long run.
Well, this functional fitness stuff now has been around for a while, right? So you get in people that will say stuff like, oh, I tried that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a fixed mindset in a way. And then you say, yeah, but you haven't done it in the last 5 years, and it's changed. Like what we do has changed over the course of 7, 8 years. So when they come back in, they can have a fixed mindset of the person that they were sometimes, right? And so someone coming in fresh that's never done it can surpass somebody that did it 5 years ago and took a break, because that person is comparing themselves to somebody that doesn't exist anymore and being discouraged. And we did baseline week and then we do a retest week. They might come in on retest week after 8 weeks and they have a new 50-pound PR of where they were 8 weeks ago, but it's not where they were 3 years ago. So they go, but 3 years ago I did 300 pounds and this was only 270. And you're like, yeah, but 8 weeks ago you did 220 pounds. This is a 50-pound PR. So like we just care about that person 8 weeks ago, not the person 5 years ago. And like sometimes you can't break someone from that mindset, which is, I think, worse than a beginner. Right? It's like, I was good once, so now I'm just not even gonna try and get back to that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, or being afraid to test themselves because they don't know what's gonna happen. They don't want to, like you said, I tried that once, right? So maybe they tried it and the experience they had negated whatever they had done before. So in their mind, it was a failure.
Yeah.
So now they're not going to keep working at it. Which, I do think that does happen to a lot of people.
Well, it's fixed, right?
Yeah.
Because if I say, well, you've never tried OxFit. Yeah, but it's like something that, no, it's not. Come and try this. Come in with a mindset that you don't know what this is. And don't compare it to, just be here and look at a squat as if you've never done it before. Look at it as a pull-up as if you've never done it before. Not, well, I tried this stuff. This stuff is too big of a thing. It's why people stop doing certain jobs and stop doing things and stop growing. Oh, I tried something that you really, 2024 is coming up. There's something that you know in your mind that you really want to try, right? Like you want to try it again. You want to try playing the guitar again. You want to try reading books again. You want to throw your TV away. You want to try that new diet. You want to, you know what I mean? And you're going to be like, but I tried it and it didn't work last time. But if you come in and you throw away that last time and you just see it through a beginner and be like, let me pretend I've never done this before. start here and see where I can get to in 2024, then that mindset is just going to be so big for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I would say even if you did the exact same thing over again, if you just did it with a different perspective, it would be like doing something completely new.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be holding yourself back.
I used to say that I've taken playing the guitar as an example of something that I've got off my list. Just like, I'm not musical. And that's such a fixed mindset, right? Because my son loves the guitar. So it would be great to learn it together with him. And if I could see it through his eyes, maybe I can do it, right? Because I have a fixed mindset of just like, I'm not musical. I don't know how to do that stuff. I wasn't given the gift of music. When really I've just never played musical instruments, right? So yeah, it's funny how we can have it in so many. You can have an open mindset in some things and a fixed mindset in others. And like, I don't think it's just that's a fixed mindset person, that's a closed mindset person. I think there's so many nuanced things to it. Like you might be like that with intelligence, but with sports, you have an open mindset, you know? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was one thing I thought about is I say that I've grown into a person with a growth mindset, but maybe I'm just in a place where I'm allowing myself to do that.
Because you get to see the results of an open mindset.
Right. And
because you said you never get a pull-up. You literally said to me, I will never get a pull-up. And now you're doing bar muscle ups. And our goal for next year is to do a ring muscle up.
Yeah.
Like that's a different person. That's not just a different like goal. It's a completely different person.
Yeah, to even have that in my mind in the first place is something I could do. And OxFit definitely gave that to me. They gave me that gift of having a growth mindset. And but yeah, I think back like in college, I grew up, you're so smart. I'm in all the AP classes, all the honors classes. I went to college, I struggled with college science courses. Ask me how many office hours I went to, even though they were available to me every single day.
Well, you're already intelligent, right?
0. Because I had in my mind that like...
That's not going to help.
I can't ask for help. I'm smart. I don't need to go like get help.
Yeah.
But here, I can't do a pull-up. Well,
how many athletes are like that too, that are out there, that are like, keep trying to go back to the gym, but the gym just sucks. The gym they go into sucks. And if they just would be like, maybe I do need a coach. Maybe I just need something because I'm busy. Maybe I need someone else to write me some workouts and I just show up and do it, right? Like it's the same mindset.
Right.
That you could have, got help. But you're in that mindset of, what was that mindset? It was just, I can't ask for help. Yeah,
because that would be admitting failure. Something I used to be told I was good at, now I'm bad at it. If I asked someone for help, I failed. Same thing with working out.
Well, how many people are out there that are like that? They were super athletes.
Yeah.
Super athletes. And now, life, a job, kids, whatever it is, they're 20, 30 pounds out of shape. They don't have time to be writing all the workouts, figuring out how to eat, then they just need to come here.
Yeah.
But, when I was 18, I knew how to work out. Okay, get help. Go find a coach. Go find a place you look forward to going to every day. Don't just sit there and be like, well, I know how to do it. It's okay that you know how to do it, but it just might not be something that is possible.
Yeah. Or I would even push back that a lot of people think they know, but they don't. Because if you look at the common denominator, when you were a great athlete, you had a team, you had a coach, and you had all this stuff planned out for you.
Yeah.
Now you're an adult, you have no team, you have no coach, and everything is just chaotic.
Yeah, practice wasn't optional. Weightlifting wasn't optional. All this stuff wasn't optional. It was like, if you don't show up, you're running. If you don't, you don't play. So, it's finding that environment again.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I can do it myself. It's okay not to be able to do it yourself. You know, a beginner would seek help. Right?
Definitely.
What's the first thing a beginner does? If I have no idea how to play the guitar, what's my first thing I have to do?
Go find a teacher.
I have to find someone who knows. But if I'm like, well, I knew how to play the guitar 10 years ago, so I'll just figure it out. It's just so fixed, right? So I think the parallel with fitness is just so great.
Yeah.
Go find a coach. See it through new eyes. Try it again. Start again. Be a beginner again. And yeah, there is no failure. The failure is staying in that fixed mindset and not trying it. And not getting rid of that ego for a minute and being like, well, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. If you knew, then you'd be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you were just like, well, I want to get a muscle up this year. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing until I get it. No, you're going to be like, and show me some drills, show me some new things. Let me look up, let me find, oh, there's a muscle up seminar coming up. Or are we doing a muscle, like whatever it is, I'm going to find a way to be around people that know to teach me what to do. Where else does that fixed mindset show up in your life?
My life personally?
Yeah, do you think you've got rid of it in a lot of ways?
I think I want to say I've gotten rid of it in a lot of ways. I think it can exist in relationships, definitely exist in an academic setting, a fitness setting. But no, I do think it's something I still struggle with. Because I've noticed all the things that I'm okay with people seeing me show a growth mindset are things that I'm not embarrassed if I fail at.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So you have to ask yourself, which in a way that can be a fixed mindset too, right? Because
well, I think I've seen, and it's the thing that I love about the gym, right? It's the reason that I opened the gym, is because you get to see it's much bigger than fitness, right? Like, yes, you're going to get in the best shape of your life, but why do I love coaching, and why do I love setting challenges for people, and why do I love seeing the scorecards, and why do I love tracking all this stuff and seeing real results, and why do we do all this stuff is because there's so much data attached to it that proves you're better and you can get better and you are growing. And so the amount of people that I've seen come in like you, get a pull-up and then quit their job is countless, right? Because you went from being like, I'll never get a pull-up, to look how strong I am, to doing weightlifting competitions, to doing fitness competitions, to competing. Like one big one that we talked about in previous episodes is you went and did a competition and you finished last. But it was, you years ago would never even thought of doing that competition. You would have gone and scaled and like tried to finish in the top 5. But instead you went and you finished last, and you knew that the success was entering and competing and going to the competition, not the place. And then now that allows you to quit your job and not worry what other people think of your intelligence. And like, what do? You're a head coach of a gym. You don't give a shit what their opinion of that is. You know that you're growing every day and you're in an environment where you're going to be more successful and you're having a bigger impact on people, which is why you originally wanted to get into nursing every single day. What we just did last week, you got to see, I don't know how many people, like it was the biggest gym, it was the biggest week we'd had in the gym in terms of attendance. You got to see all them people improve their life. You don't get to see that every day as a nurse necessarily, right?
Yeah.
But in the job you have now, you get to watch other people grow while you grow. And that is why you do it.
Yeah.
And so what other people think of it,
it's irrelevant.
Becomes irrelevant.
Yeah. It's just about, finding success in the amount that I'm learning rather than someone telling me, you did a good job.
Yeah.
Check that off the list. Perfect.
Yeah. Lauren had been told the same thing, like she's so intelligent. She finished college, like whatever the extra thing they put on there, magna cum laude, something like, I don't even know what them things mean. And then went on to be an accountant, and was like on track to be partner, and all these things that like validate from an external perspective other people. When you go up to them and they go, what do you do? And you say, I'm an accountant at this big CPA firm and I'm, on track to be partner, and they automatically know how much money you make, what car you drive, all that stuff. And then I open a gym and I'm like, I need help. You want to come and work with me? And I say, the biggest question I have for you is, are you okay with telling people that you're a fitness coach for the next few years, you know? Mm-hmm. And she said yes. And that was the only thing that really mattered in that for her, was that being able to change that mindset of, you're not, when you go into a room now, some people are going to be like, you do what? Rather than like, ooh, fancy. Miserable as hell at the job, but ooh, fancy. To the happiest you've ever been, control your schedule, work with awesome people every day, have a fucking blast, work out 2 hours a day, living the fucking dream life. But other people that you don't know might go, oh, okay. Who gives a shit, right? But it's all your interpretation and your mindset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just such a big deal. Such a big deal.
Yeah, and it makes you, I don't know, I have empathy for people that don't have that mindset. Like, it makes me sad.
Well, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We can all see areas of our life where we have that mindset. And we know, the funny thing is we know we can break it by getting you a pull-up. Like, it seems so simple. I can break your fixed mindset by getting you a pull-up. You might think that the relationship that you're in with your partner is good enough. And then you go get a pull-up, you lose 20 pounds, and you go, this shit ain't good enough anymore. This person is holding me back. But I had a fixed mindset that I was like, I'll just accept this relationship for what it is. And then you go off and you do all this cool shit, and you're like, oh, I need a partner that's in this with me. We're growing together. Not we're just in a relationship together, you know? There's so many, like, quit their job, break up with a partner, all these things, and like...
And it's things you thought you didn't have control over. But once you realize that you do, it's a game changer. Like you said, it's just, oh, but I went to school for 4 years, I got this job, I can't just... Yeah, you can. Just quit. Just quit. And I did. I quit.
And you know why you'll quit? Because you got that first pull-up.
Yeah.
Not anything, like, there's no major... We just know that, oh, you lost 20 pounds. Oh, you gained 10 pounds of muscle. Like, all the things that we want to show you you're getting better at, we don't want to show you just to show you. We want to show you that you're growing. So if you're in a place at work where you're not growing, go to another place where you're going to grow. Because you're this kind of person. The OxFit name and the OxFit group and being an athlete at OxFit means you're a person that's about growth. That's why you come every day. That's why you sign up. If you're not that kind of person, you're going to hate it here.
Yeah.
Because we're going to show you every day that you're capable of more. We're going to show you can find your strength. But if you come in every day and you're like, I've been told by a doctor to never put anything over my head. And you go, what kind of advice is that? Let's see what you can put over your head. And they go, they told me not to. You're never going to put anything over your head. But if we go, well, let's start with 2 pounds. Oh, you did it. 3, 4, 5, 6, new PR. You know what I mean? And we get to see that. But if you're not a find your strength kind of person, wrong place.
Yeah.
If you think you might be a find your strength kind of person, even if you think it, we're going to show you that you are. It doesn't even have to be that you're convinced. You'll come in for 8 weeks and you'll be convinced. Or you'll absolutely hate it. And you'll be convinced that you're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's not going to be anywhere to hide.
No.
You're going to find out exactly the type of person you are. And I like what you said about it's going to show you can grow, because it will in every area of your life. Doesn't mean you're going to quit your job and come work here, but you might move on to something bigger and better. You might leave Atlanta. You might quit OxFit because you want to move wherever. That's great.
Yeah.
We want those decisions to be made.
Yeah. Just think, like, in the 8 years that I've been here, the amount of people that got their first pull-up, quit their job, started a business, like, that is why I get up every day, because I just get to see the growth of people, you know? Like, most people that come to my entrepreneur group now are people from the gym, you know? And some of them didn't have businesses 2 years ago, but they came here and they started getting fit and they saw what they were capable of, and they weren't satisfied with being in a place that wasn't about growth.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Call to action right now. If you're that kind of person, or you think you are, we're here. You know, your people are in here. They're training every day. You know, if you're wanting to join, if you're an experienced coach and you want to join a team where the team are growing, like, what do we talk about more than anything? Our personal goals, right? And like where you want to be in the next 5 years, where Caitlin wants to be in the next 5 years. So yeah, it's all throughout the culture, right? Like you honestly couldn't be the head coach if you hadn't changed some of them mindsets that are on that list.
Yeah.
If you were the same person that said they'd never get a pull-up, we're not sitting here having this conversation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you just tell it to me, but this is the best job you've ever had, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't just say it.
no,
say
yeah. But you're happy,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean you show up every day and it's a blast. It doesn't mean there's not challenges. It doesn't mean me and you don't make mistakes, but we're only making them growing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making mistakes and you're like, see, this is why I knew I never should have started this job, which is
how I was at my other job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time we do something, I'm glad. Like, I think this morning I said, I'm really glad I did the Olympic lifting last year and it didn't go how I wanted it to, because this year it's badass.
Yeah.
And so I like that journey of growth.
Yeah, because you could have just had me do it.
Right.
And be like, and you take it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year, oh, I haven't quite perfected it. You do it again. But no, like, go and do it and like learn from it. Take that learning because you've got a growth mindset and grow it next time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, show up to the gym and know that you haven't squatted in 3 years and it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
But next week, be a little bit better. And then the next week, it'll be a little bit better. And in 8 weeks, it'll be a 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 pound PR.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then you'll be like, what a start to the fucking year. You'll actually get to see results. You start in January this year. By March, we'll retest you. And you'll see how much further you are on from when you start in January. Like, we'll show you that result. For me, over 8 weeks, the last 8 weeks, it was 55 pounds on 3 lifts and 151 reps. You know? That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a different person. Like 150 reps, that's how much more fitness I have. That's how much more work capacity I have. I'm more useful for 150 more reps. Mm-hmm. And I'm stronger for 55 pounds across 3 lifts. That's an average of what? 20 pounds a lift almost? Almost 60 pounds? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, what a start to the book.
Yeah.
I'm excited to keep reading it. That was only the first 4 questions.
Yeah. We didn't even get into the rest of it.
There's some cool stuff in there for parents and stuff like that too, right? So I'm excited to dig into.
Yeah. I think it's going to reveal.
I think it also
some
might
things.
help us with our coaching. Because there might be some ways that we give feedback that's not good, right? We might be closing people off. And so I think there's a lot to learn from this book. If you're following along, we're just in part 1. We're going to be reading this for the rest of December. We'll pick up a new book in January. So Mindset, Carol Dwek, The Psychology of Success, Parenting, Business, School, Relationships.
And fitness.
They should have put fitness on that, shouldn't they?
I don't know why. They talk about it a lot.
Yeah. So we'll have Carol Dwek on the next podcast.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
She's like, everything you said was wrong.
Oh, yeah. You guys are talking shit. Keep reading before you start doing podcasts. Yeah.
No, not everything wasn't wrong, but
yeah, what a good start. Well, I'm glad you have a growth mindset. I enjoy working with you every day. I enjoy training with you every day.
As do I.
Let's keep growing.
Yeah. And that's the power of a pull-up.
Damn. It really is.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call the episode.
The power of a pull-up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'll never get a pull-up. Could be the title of the episode.
Or that.
Yeah. Still, I remember you saying that too.
Yeah, I was so gimpy.
Yeah.
It's not fun to be around.
What were you doing? Jumping pull-ups or something? Did I have you doing jumping or like banded or something? Or
No, because I could kip. So I was just
You just
working
couldn't
on
get your chin
that. I
over.
just couldn't get my chin over.
yeah.
And then I did banded. Yeah.
And then you did 30 muscle-ups the other day, huh? Did you do that workout?
No, I didn't do that workout.
Okay.
I've done a few, though.
Yeah.
Done a handful.
All right, that's it. Power of a pull-up. Lucas, make us look good.